Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Four of Pentacles. There could be a situation right now going on with your home or with the people that live inside of your home, because I feel like this is a card about like a living situation, like a domestic kind of routine or habits or something. I feel like you're the type of person that you kind of have your own way of doing things. You have a routine in your life. You have a way that you go about your day. You have a certain sort of process that you like. I mean, I think you have like probably it feels like a pretty definite morning routine. Like you wake up at a certain time, you do a certain series of things in a certain order, and it kind of sets the tone for your day, right? I feel like you're somebody who, you like routines, you like spontaneity, you like to kind of, it's like you have a routine, but I don't feel that there's a real rigidity about it. Like I feel like you like to have your time, and you like to go at your own pace, but you have that very kind of strict order that you do things, but there's no time frame really. As long as you're done by, like say 9 o'clock time to go to work, like that's kind of the, that's the goal. But I feel like there's a series of things that you feel like you have to get done. Okay. I do feel like there's something going on in your home right now. I don't know if it's with people that you live with or family members perhaps, or if this could be talking about maybe a financial situation. We need to look at some more cards. We need some context around this Four of Pentacles. We have a Princess of Pentacles. There could be a younger female energy that is interrupting the flow of things for you. Here we have a Queen of Cups. We've got the Five of Pentacles, okay, and a Five of Wands, and a Four of Swords. So we go 5, 4, 5, 4. Okay, so yeah, so it does show me that there was, or maybe still kind of is, a disturbance in the routine of things for you. Here we have the Hanged Man. We have a Two of Cups. We have an Ace of Swords. We have another 5. Is somebody staying with you or something? I kind of feel like, there's somebody that's kind of in your life right now, or something is going on that's sort of disrupting the routine for you. Okay, let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with, nope, not Bubo anymore, Big Red Ant. For this energetic cycle, we'll move Bubo, the mechanical owl, down to the end of the line. And there we have Big Red Ant. We're not going to look at that card until the end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below, okay? Now, as we look around the room, an interesting thing that we notice first is that there's only one major arcana card. It is the Hanged Man, okay? So it kind of feels like we're maybe feeling stuck. We're maybe feeling like this is kind of an interruption, like something's going on in life that feels like it forced you to put your stuff on pause, okay? And so we kind of feel like we're just waiting in a way, or that we're sort of powerless in the situation. We can't really change things. It's just something we have to endure right now, okay? And so I don't know if there is, something that it feels like there's somebody staying with you. It feels like there's some kind of a new, I don't know, there's some kind of a new thing going on at home that is sort of interrupting the flow for you, okay? We don't see any fire. We see water and water. We always do see fire. We see a little bit of fire up here. Yeah, the 5. Yeah, of course. How did I miss that? Because that is kind of this looming tension that's hanging over things. But we do have water. We have a bit of air, right, and a bit of earth. And I think that this is, something that we're sort of looking for things to get back to normal. That's something interrupted things, okay? The 5 of Pentacles in the background. In yesterday's energy, I feel like this was, I don't know, it's almost like a bull in a china shop kind of energy to me, that somebody just came in and it was just a whirlwind. And it might be that maybe somebody was visiting you, maybe they still are. Maybe this is kind of when they first arrived and it sort of felt like chaos in a way. Things were just moving around, things were being shifted. This could be something, could literally be a move. I don't know if because I feel like somebody's like moving like luggage or boxes or bags or something. And maybe it felt like somebody was moving in. I guess it could be that somebody's moved out, but no, I feel like there's a younger female in the home now that wasn't there before. And I feel like it was a disruption when they arrived, but I feel like the two of you are starting to get into more of a routine now. Like things are starting to kind of be a little bit more easy and a little bit more calm, I think. Yeah. Because the 5 to me, now it could be that you've moved homes. It could be that you have, you've shifted in your home, your living situation. Okay, some change has occurred. This is usually a change that we're kind of worried about. We're not sure if this is a good idea. That we don't know if this is really, how this is going to work out. But I feel like when we're in the middle of this kind of a move, like a 5 of Pentacles move, we start looking around for the 4. We start thinking, okay, I want things to settle down. And, well, I think they are settling down now. And maybe this is somebody that's always lived with you, but I feel like there has been some kind of an event that happened, especially with this 5 of Wands now. Some event happened that sort of, it's sort of forcing you to deal with it. It's something out of the ordinary. Maybe they got in trouble. Maybe they had a crisis. Maybe there was a conflict between the two of you. Maybe it's kind of like your lifestyles are clashing. Maybe your routines are clashing. We could have something like that going on. Because the 5 of Wands is a card of strife. It's a card of fighting. And I feel like this is sort of, this is that looming energy where it feels like there is still this tension there. Even though things, I think, are getting back to a smooth flow, getting back to routine now, I guess there's a chance this could be in the workplace, okay? Because it feels like a place where you expect to be comfortable and happy and safe and sort of like not bothered, but something's coming in and bothering you. It feels like a younger female energy, but it could be an immature person. That kind of could be the sort of reference that we're getting from the Princess of Pentacles, okay? Because this to me feels like somebody who is not refined yet, right? Somebody who's not yet matured into their own energy. And so maybe it's sort of that they're attaching themselves to you quite strongly, or they're kind of following you around, like trying to, maybe it's someone you're training, maybe this is a younger family member that's staying with you, or that's reaching out to you, and seems like they're a little bit needy right now, okay? And I feel like it's disrupting your sort of normal flow, like your normal morning that you like to have. You like to have your time, you like to have your tea, and you like to, do your thing. It feels like something's interrupting that, okay? And it feels like there's kind of a conflict, because we have the fire, the 5 of Wands, but then we have this very deep, feeling, this very sensitive, very caring, very empathic Queen of Wands. And I think this is your general energy, because this is a very empathic person. This is somebody that is dealing with a lot of different feelings. It's like on the surface, it's annoying, or you're mad, or there's this frustration, and there's this friction and conflict and discord. But deep down, you care about this person, you care about the situation, and you want it to stabilize. And maybe this is somebody that you're mentoring. Maybe this is somebody that you're helping. Maybe this is somebody that, you're sort of put in charge of. It could be, I guess it could be a new pet or something in the home. But it's something that's disturbed the routine that you really care about, and you want to see them thrive, and you want to help, and you want to do right by them. But at the same time, it's very frustrating. right? And I think that we can feel both of these feelings at the same time. And that's sort of, that's okay. I guess it depends on which one we choose to focus on, which one we choose to identify with. I feel going forward with the Four of Swords that you're sort of calming yourself down. We're trying not to identify with the Five of Wands and identify with the anger, because the external events are pretty neutral, right? It's our reaction that creates our experience. So how we talk to this person, how we deal with this person, how we sort of accept the situation is a very crucial element in how we experience our life. Okay, so I think going forward, we're choosing to sort of err on the side of caution. We're choosing to not really express everything we're thinking or everything we're feeling. Right? We're choosing restraint. We're choosing because this is a card of truce. Right? We've got fighting with the Five, and we've got truce. We've got material worry, but then we have material stability. Okay, so we're moving from a 5 to a 4, and over here we're moving from a 5 to a 4. Of course, we do get a 5 at the end again, right? So I feel like you're choosing not to do anything right now. Okay, and whether this is somebody that you kind of like feel like you need to say something, or we feel like we need to make a decision to express ourselves and maybe to set boundaries or limits or something. I feel like right now you're not really doing anything. You're just you're going to let the energy play out. And very soon we see the more long-term Five of Swords. That is sort of, we're going from 5 to 4, from 5 to 4, and then back to a 5 again. So I think we're trying to delay our reaction to somebody right now. We're trying to hold off before we say anything, before we make a judgment, before we decide anything, before we do anything or take any action. We're trying to just stabilize. We're trying to see if this can become a routine. We're trying to see if we can get along, right? Maybe this is a new roommate, something like this. It's like a probationary period. We're trying to see how it goes first. Okay. Now, spirits tell me that you're sort of a nervous driver or something like that. Like you don't drive, or you're nervous about driving a car. Yeah. The Four of Swords, I believe, is us choosing to wait before reacting to somebody. Okay? We're choosing to pause and see if things can stabilize and see if things can get back into a good routine. Okay? Now, on the path of the Serpent, you do have the Hanged Man. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Readings are totally free. The Hanged Man, as the general energy card, technically, is sort of it's a card of sort of accepting. It's a card of surrender. It's a card of saying, I'm going to choose to just go with the flow here and see what happens. Okay? So this is kind of us choosing not to do anything. We're just going to hang out here and see how it goes, see if things can stabilize, see if there can be a sort of a natural resolution. If this is like, maybe we're saying, okay, well, you know what? They'll figure things out in a couple days and they'll be okay, and I don't have to interfere. And if they don't, of course, we say, okay, well, I'll speak up. If it doesn't happen on its own in a couple days, I'll say something. Okay? And so I kind of feel like it's that kind of a vibe where it's like, well, let's let them figure it out first. Let's do nothing. Let's hands behind our back. Don't touch anything. Let's wait and see if this other person can figure things out on their own, because that would be real nice. That would be smooth, right? That would not require us to say anything, and perhaps it might come out wrong. We might appear a little bit more angry than we wanted to portray ourselves as. So I feel like in a situation like this, it's best to say, okay, what is it? A day, 5 days, a week? What are we going to do? How long are we going to sit and surrender and sort of suffer through the situation? And this is up to you, of course. This is saying, maybe I'm going to keep the peace for a couple days and see if it resolves on its own. If it does not, you can speak up. If it does not, you can make the decisions and you can have that conversation. This might be somebody else's behavior. somebody else's sort of way that they're doing life. It's like somebody doesn't put their dishes in the dishwasher. Okay, it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to give it a couple days and see what happens. And if they don't figure it out, I'm going to find a way to talk about it in a way that's gentle and empathic and compassionate and sort of calm and, you know, caring, rather than just going full on Five of Wands and starting a big fight, starting this big beef, right? In the environment, in the relationship, you have the Two of Cups. That's why I feel like it is a family thing. Okay, I feel like this is somebody that you care about, and you don't want. Maybe it's I don't know. It could be a romantic partner. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. Maybe it's a sibling. I don't know. There is this love between the two of you, and I feel like this is not such a big deal that you're willing to completely disrupt the relationship. But at the same time, you value your time and your routine and your energy and your space. And your space. Okay? But the Two of Cups in the relationship shows that this is a close relationship. There is a bond between the two of you that we don't want to jeopardize that. So we're willing to sacrifice these frustrations and annoyances and these little worries for the sake of the relationship, but for how long? Okay? The fours are always temporary. That's the thing about the fours of the tarot, is that they seem stable and permanent. They're not. They're very, very temporary. The fours remind us that everything is impermanent. You know, that there will come a time, Five of Swords at the end, there will come a time where you're going to have to sort of have a conversation and figure out a better system with this person about how to sort of function, right? Maybe it's a friend. Right? The Ace of Swords in the position of the difficulty or the worry feels like we don't trust ourselves to say something in a very calm and gentle way, in a way that they're not going to get offended. And it's not our fault, it's not their fault. It's just sometimes the way I say things, people may take offense, you know? That we don't always trust ourselves that we can say things in a very calm and sort of neutral sort of manner, or we're sort of expecting that the other person is going to misunderstand us. See, the Ace of Swords is a card of clarity. It's a card of precision. It's a card of like saying exactly what you mean. The pen is mightier than the sword kind of thing. But the pen can hurt just as much as a sword. I mean, it is a sword anyway. So I feel like we don't really anticipate that the conversation will go well. So we're trying to delay it as long as possible. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to see what they do. Hopefully they'll figure it out on their own so that I don't have to say anything, because I don't know that they're not going to be offended. No matter how gently I talk, I'm worried that there's still going to be some offense taken. But what we see between this and the Five of Swords, it's kind of saying that, you know, no matter how gently you put it, they may not appreciate the conversation. But also, the idea is that if you say it too gently, they're not going to understand really what you mean. They're going to say, oh, it's not a big deal, or they're not really going to get the point. So it's kind of like we want to be blunt so that they get it, but we don't want to be so blunt that they take offense and it starts this whole thing, and that's going to just disrupt your routine even further. But we don't want to be so delicate that they, right over their head, they miss the point and nothing changes. Okay? So it's really a balancing act that you're in right now. Okay? I want to look at the mystery card, and I want to see some harmony with this. I want to see a 6 already. We got enough 5s and 4s and 5s and 4s. We have more 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. We have more 5s than 4s. Okay? So to me, that is saying that, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to have to figure out how to have this conversation. I want this to be a 6 of Swords, or at least a 6 of Cups. A 6 of anything would be good. But a 6, nonetheless, harmony, beauty, right? There's resonance. It's like we're vibing with each other and everything's good for now. So let's see what we have. We have the World card. I think this is good. Because the World card represents a completion of this issue, that there's closure here. that there is going to be a resolution, that I think we will have a conversation, things will kind of get back to a routine. But the thing about this card is that it's sort of open-ended. It's saying, yeah, there's going to be a resolution, but it's infinite. The world's going to keep on turning. There's going to be more stuff that pops up. So this isn't the only time you're going to go through this whole scenario. It's going to repeat itself. There's always going to be something, right? With somebody, maybe not with the same person, but with somebody. Maybe we have to talk to them about their spending. Maybe we have to talk to them about their habits, or how the loud music or something in the mornings, or whatever, right? Or they don't do the dishwasher, or their clothes are lying around, or whatever it might be. There's always going to be something that we have to sort of express. We have to pronounce our word. We have to be. There's more opportunities for magic, right? The tarot's always trying to teach you how to be the magician, or remind you that you are the magician. I know it seems silly. This seems like a very almost basic reading, right? Not a lot of major arcana, not some big, huge, heavy philosophical themes or spiritual ideas. It's just about a simple situation. But that's the mundane magic of everyday life. That's where magic really matters. We want a desired end. I want to be able to do my routine. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and have my tea and, take my supplements, do my yoga, exercise, meditate, go outside, do the breathing exercises. I want to have quiet time. I want to ease my way into the shower and then go to work. Like that's and if that's our desired end, that's what we're trying to manifest. The magician can make that happen. What has to happen in order for that to occur? For you to have that kind of a result, you've got to be willing to put some of your energy in motion. So we have to figure out, like the magician, we have to figure out the best way to communicate, to express our desire, express our will out into the world and make it happen. Okay? And so the magician is the one that can be very tactful, very strategic, and very flexible, but can cause change in conformity with our will. And so the magician is trying to create the world that it wants to live in. Not the whole objective world or whatever, but our personal reality. We use our magic to create our personal reality the way we want it to be, especially if this is in our very own home. It's very important. We don't want to be too aggressive, and then it makes things worse, creates some bad blood, and creates more fighting and more chaos. And, well, that's kind of the opposite of what we want, right? So we have to be very strategic and maybe subtle, but not too subtle that they don't get it either, right? But this is the card that says things are going to happen in cycles. There's going to be more opportunities for you to do this mundane magic. We want to have a nice harmonious life at work, a nice work environment. We have to do whatever we can in order to achieve that. And sometimes it is about doing more action, speaking up louder, saying things more forcefully, or sometimes it's kind of backing off a little bit and letting things sort of unwind of their own accord, But it's up to us, yeah. So I think this is a really important confirmation card. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram and some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Aries on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.